What's going on, everyone? Alex Shinsky here for the Anti-Hustlers Weekly Show. Thank you so much for joining us every Thursday at 3:15 p.m. Eastern, here live on your favorite podcast apps, on YouTube and on the Facebook group and all that jazz. As always, I'm joined by my guest host and co-host, Mr. Brian Downard. How you doing, buddy?
Living the dream.
Hey-o, today we are going to have an amazing show for you because we're going to be talking about how to sell AI, okay, to your clients, and then how to leverage that AI to retain your clients longer, help them get more conversions, make them more money, make you more money, explode the world and change the world. It's amazing. I know. It's very exciting. Today, we are joined by our guest host, Mr. Andrew Hagan. Andrew, how are you, bud?
I'm doing great. Better now that I just heard that high energy intro right there.
Right? See, I told Andrew right before we went on live, like, hey, don't worry about my low energy. I have to conserve it so that I can give you everything I have when I'm here. Andrew, why don't we just start first by telling everyone what is ZappyChat in case they've never heard of it, or they're living under a rock and haven't seen the 5 billion ads you guys are just flushing the entire planet on right now.
Yeah, so my apologies if you're tired of my face popping up in your Facebook feed. But Andrew Hagan over at ZappyChat. We do ZappyChat AI. It's a conversational AI that can take your leads from opt-in or from cold lead to qualified, booked appointments, answer support questions, fire off automations, fill custom fields, do all sorts of things, all using AI to elevate your execution on your SaaS.
Love it.
So
excited.
Simple, dumb, maybe overly obvious question, but you say conversational AI, and that's a phrase that might, make sense if you kind of connect all the dots. Like, in its simplest essence, what is conversational AI, and why should agency owners even give a shit? Pardon my French.
Conversational AI is using AI to respond to your leads and have the conversation with your leads. And so that can be any sort of conversation, whether it is a booking conversation where rather than sending a link, you're now having AI say, hey, I could do Tuesday at 4 p.m. or Wednesday at noon. Do either of those work for you? So booking conversationally. Or people are asking questions about the product. It can dynamically answer those questions as well, handle any sort of situations. But to put it in 5-year-old speak, it's a robot that talks to your customers for you.
I love this.
Nice. I liked it.
Brian, I want to show you.
Got that from a chatbot too.
I think this is just too good. So I got to show it to you. Got to show it to you. Okay, this is my Facebook. All right, this is the top of it. Are you ready? Let's see how long it takes to find a ZappyChat ad. Here we go. Okay, we got Vimeo. Okay, we got Vimeo. We got Hermosi. We got, what do we got? We got Shipped. We got, oh, there it is. Look at him. There he is. It took literally 3 seconds. It's incredible. I love it.
Weird AI filter and everything.
It's absolutely fantastic. I love it. So here's the thing, guys, that why we brought Andrew on, right? The reality is there is a lot of options to utilize AI and how to leverage it in the space today. The reality is if you are not on the AI train, you're just missing out. I think, Brian, this is like the third of the last 5 shows that we did that had relation to AI. Andrew, we've done like AI prospecting training. We did our top 5 AI tools. And now we're talking about conversational AI for like leveraging how to, communicate with your leads when you don't actually have to do the work yourself, or better yet, for your end clients in your SaaS product where you can sell this to them. Here's my belief, Andrew, that I want to really share to everyone on this show that I think is absolutely critical. I think, the internet bubble, right, that exploded in the early 1990s to like probably like 2000-ish or so, a little bit past that, right? That bubble created multi-millionaire and billionaires, right? Obviously. Since then, there hasn't been like such a big like leap. There was this idea, obviously, that crypto would become that. Maybe it will still. We're not here to bash it necessarily, but obviously that bubble kind of burst pretty strongly in the past 8 to 12 months or so. Don't hate on me, crypto bros, guys. I'm not an expert. I'm just referencing, okay? Relax. Now, here we are in this new AI bubble, right? Obviously, since ChatGPT has been announced, more and more market share is being taken up by businesses being intrigued by what this could be, similar to the point, in my opinion, of like what a website could be or what email could be back in the day. And I think right now, if you get on the ground floor in any way related to AI, where you can bridge the gap for your end user clients, your clients, to help them get into AI, you're going to be leading the charge on the cutting edge. And that's really what marketing inherently was meant to be initially, like cutting edge. And the value in like bubble of Facebook advertising, an example, Andrew, like in 2005 to 2015, it was definitely a bubble. Like no one had ever heard of it. Now, pretty much any business you ever speak to is like, everyone tells me Facebook, what it makes you different, etc. If you get to leverage that, what makes you different is that we're on the AI scene. Have you heard of AI? the chances of someone saying, have you heard of AI? And they're like, no, is very small. Have you heard of AI and used it? The chances of that is extremely likely that they have not used it. And now you get to bridge the gap. And to me, Andrew, that's why I feel like the urgency is right now to get in on this bubble, this opportunity to leverage conversational AI for this speed to lead. Can you talk a little bit about that and then leverage that into the speed to lead comment that I think pretty much like all agency owners and businesses have heard before?
Yeah, for sure. So I think that what you're saying is spot on. Going even back just to using high level gives you sort of a great head start in terms of standing out from the pack as a digital marketer, as a SaaS provider, as an agency owner. AI is now the next big head start. And like any head start, it's only as good as much as you take advantage of it. Like if you just rely on a head start, if you just try to slap high level onto a business and try to just sell it just as is, I'm sure that you all know doesn't work. And so same thing with AI, where AI, you can slap that name on and just say you're using AI, and that gives you a little bit of a head start. But if you're not actually implementing it in a way that amplifies your success and elevates your execution, then you are just wasting that head start, and eventually you'll be surpassed. But right now, it is the biggest opportunity to take advantage of that head start, particularly in solving the speed to lead problem. Like Alex mentioned, you've probably all heard that if you don't respond to a lead within 5 minutes of them reaching out, you are 80% less likely to convert that lead. So speed to lead is a huge deal, being how quickly you're responding to leads. And obviously, if you have AI to do it, now you're not just using workflows, you're not just using automated messages to respond, you're actually using AI that can dynamically adapt to the situation and can have multiple back and forth responses in order to get your lead towards the goal. So that's why I think it's so important. And like honestly, full disclosure here, I'm obviously going to tell you why I think ZappyChat is a great tool to use for that. But even if you have already written me off and you're like, no way I'm buying ZappyChat, I hate that guy's ads, totally fine. At least listen to me when I say you should be implementing some sort of conversational AI in your business to take advantage of this opportunity and provide incredible value to your clients.
I love it. So one of the main things, obviously, that's a concern for everyone is like, what is shiny object and what isn't, right? So let's talk about utilization of conversational AI. I find it to be two potential opportunities, right? For big agencies that are generating a lot of leads for themselves. So for example, like a company like ZappyChat, who is clearly generating a lot of leads for himself, in order to in the past prior to AI, in order to like respond to all of those, you have to have really good workflows and automations. Maybe like ManyChat was the thing that you would go through, which wasn't perfect, but it was something available. Or you have to have like a bunch of appointment setters to respond. But we all know the reality, like leads slip through the cracks, right? They just do. There's nothing you can do about it, and it's going to happen. Now with AI, right, those leads don't slip through the cracks, right? So if you're using it for your own agency, there's ways that people who are asking, questions about your business through high levels, tool, you and through ZappyChat, like integrating into your high level, you can automate responses and AI will actually have an actual conversation with them. But that's only the small thing. What you were explaining to me last night, Andrew, is that that's not really even the main value. The revalue is the resell opportunity to the end user client. So let's get an example here. I want to talk about one of my clients, Drew Cosby of CJH, and see what you think about like a use case here, Andrew, that I think would be valuable for everyone to hear. So he works with boutique hotels. Okay. He works with boutique hotels who use like Expedia and Booking.com to generate, vacancy opportunities and make sure that they're filling their, hotels up, right? And so they get a lot of messages of the same types of questions over and over, and they want to have a better booking bot, and they want to have a better way to communicate with their people at all times, right? Without having to have someone be there 24/7. How would they use ZappyChat as an example to then sell to all these hotels to use it and leverage AI? What would you recommend there?
Yeah, so for that sort of specific use case, you could use ZappyChat AI to plug in and be able to, number one, book leads conversationally to look at actual availability in the hotel and have a back and forth like they're booking in via conversation rather than a link. Because anytime that you get sent a link on your phone, it's very easy to think, oh, I'll click on that later, or I'll take care of that later, and then never get to it. But what's much easier is responding to an inbound message where someone's asking you, oh, did you want to book on Friday? Giving a simple yes or no there is much more lower barrier to entry, lower friction, and kind of capitalizes on that intention that the lead has in that moment. which is why speed to lead matters so much, because 5 minutes from now, I might no longer be thinking I want to stay in a hotel, or no longer thinking it's worth it. But then beyond that, like my mind goes towards, what if when you opted into, you showed interest in a hotel room, a boutique hotel in Brooklyn. What if when you're texting back and forth, the hotel not only texts you, but also asks you, like, what were you hoping to do when you were staying in Williamsburg? Like, do you prefer, like, are you looking for coffee shops or bars? And then what if that AI is conversationally recommending local bars and coffee shops or local activities relative to the hotel, or even activities within it, and sending direct links to book, a massage appointment or a cooking class, and like have that as just essentially an automated upsell and cross-sell, or just providing value to the customer before they've even booked, like telling them more about the neighborhood. That's going to boost that connection with the business, and potentially like bring in more sales, more revenue.
Like this concierge, essentially an AI concierge, right? So amazing. Here would be the question that I think most people would be like considering, like, okay, I love the concept, I get it. How do I sell that to the actual end user, the HVAC, the plumber, the hotel, the dentist? Like, do I show them something? Is there a way to prove it? Like, do you understand where I'm coming from, Andrew? Like, what do you do to showcase this to them?
Totally. So a big thing with AI here is that, yes, it's a buzzword. And for those of us watching this show, you probably are familiar with AI to some extent, and it doesn't confuse you as much as maybe, say, your average non-technical boomer on the street. You'd bring up AI and they think it's going to steal their job, or maybe it's part of the Antichrist. Those things are things people comment on our ads, so I know people think them. But a piece of selling AI is actually making it accessible, making it tangible, like bringing it closer and making it feel not so distant and far away. And so one thing that we've actually done with ZappyChat is create a specific type of demo. And Alex, if it's okay, I'll share my screen and show you guys what we have here.
Yeah, I would love that.
And so we call this our self-selling AI demo. And so you can see here that we essentially have a basic form. And when we give this to people, people are putting their branding on it, putting like an explainer video at the top of the form. But the idea here is, hey, build your own AI receptionist in less than 2 minutes. Fill out this form, and an AI receptionist is going to reach out to you and give you essentially a custom demo for your business. And so coming in here and just putting in some of my information, and actually I submitted this as we were talking so that I could have a demo ready to go, because it does take 1 to 2 minutes in order to respond. But if I go through here, give it my information, and I send it to, this is a company I used to work at called Farm Shelf in Williamsburg, New York, just coincidentally. Oh, wait, name of the receptionist. I will call him JP, and we'll go to farmshelf.com. And so by clicking create here, it then creates a specific demo for the actual lead. Wow. And so going over to my contact in high level here, yes, I'm using one of my demo locations that doesn't have A2P approved. So these texts
it's all good.
Are being blocked. So live demos, I could be more prepared, but
no, that's perfect. This is so cool.
But so like literally this is what happens. So imagine that Andrew Hagan here is a lead interested in a potential AI receptionist. They fill out this form, they get a thank you message, like your demo for Farm Shelf will begin in a few seconds. It's not going to book a real appointment. They're not like worried about it. They have full range to like play with it and have fun with it. Give it a little, your AI demo starts in 3, 2, 1, and then say, hey, Andrew, this is JP with Farm Shelf. Saw your request. I just need to ask a few questions before I get you scheduled. Is that all right? Because essentially it's going to have a conversation about the Farm Shelf product before booking into an appointment. So we've got it teed up here. And so let's just go ahead and play with it. What product or service are you interested in? I'm going to say the hydroponic growing cabinet sounds cool. And this is a business that sells hydroponic growing cabinets for herbs and leafy greens to hotels, restaurants, and corporate cafeterias. Just for background there, you can go to farmshelf.com to check it out. But what happens?
I'm sure that's what it's for.
Exactly. Some other purposes have been used in the past, but that's beside the point.
I digress.
But exactly. When the lead like responds and gives their website, you can see over here, it actually scrapes their website and generates FAQs about the business, so that in this conversation, it can actually reference things directly from the website and help the business owner experience and imagine what this might be like for their clients.
So Andrew, like the value here would be to like saying we're selling to Farm Shelf. So it's like, hey, so you can see on the left side, this pulled all this data immediately, right? I just met you, right, Andrew? Right? I just met you. This pulled it in like 2 minutes from your website. Now, any of this stuff that's outdated, obviously, has to be changed on your website. But also the cool element, and if I'm out of pocket here, Andrew, tell me. But like, hey, that's really cool. And anything that we want to change, we can also go in here and teach it, right? Like we can go on the left side and like change things. Is that right?
For sure. And so like right over here, once more, this is a random demo account that I have, so it doesn't have any FAQs in here. But obviously, if you want to have your AI overcome objections for your clients or for your own business, you can add in those objections over here. Like, it seems expensive, or even how much is it? And so then you could set up your sort of objection crushers here, where,
cool.
Going to the Farm Shelf example is like, actually, it saves an average of $50 per month on leafy greens if you use it to its full extent. Go something like that. And so, yeah, the whole like magic of this demo is like, hey, this was created just in the couple minutes that since you submitted that form, and it is going to operate on behalf of your business. And so you can see here while we're talking, it's giving answers here, given the dimensions of the Farm Shelf. And so now it's going into booking an appointment. Farm Shelf maybe wasn't the best example because selling hydroponic cabinets, I mean, I guess more of a sales conversation, so it works.
I think that's actually a great example, because the more niche it is, the more realization that like if something's so niche and it's working, like imagine when it's very, usual, like, it's going to be a dentist, it's going to be a HVAC, it's going to be a plumber. It's pretty incredible what we're looking at here. It's pretty mind blowing, honestly. And I find it to be really cool. Brian, you had a question. I wanted to give it over to you.
Yeah, for sure. There's a number of things we wanted to hit on with you on this call, Andrew, but I would be remiss if I did not ask an important question that I feel like we should have brought up last night. But does the AI know when to follow up with a lead that falls off? Can you tell it how, when, what, wait 24 hours to go do this, follow up infinitely until this, is there rules you can apply to it?
Yeah, for sure. So we actually use high-level workflows to do those follow-ups, but we have AI webhooks that we can fire off to generate follow-up questions to try to re-engage the lead at the same point in the conversation. So
that's huge. That's crazy. If I were to set
that up and the lead had not responded here, we could have the AI follow up and say like, it would probably say something like, hey, wanted to make sure I didn't lose you. But I was just wondering like where you were hoping to set up the cabinet. It would ask that question, like where it was in the flow, so that it can like restart the conversation from the same point.
Amazing. It's literally incredible.
Got you. Yeah. So this is a good example of, something specific that people are doing in here that use it successfully. What are you seeing as some of your power users, like the top 1% of your client base? Like, how are they using it to get success? What are the things they're using it for? Is there anything they're doing different maybe than some new people to maximize the success? What are you seeing that's working really well?
Honestly, number one, the people who are finding success are taking quick action and implementing and improving, going through that learning cycle of just take action, assess, learn, repeat, go. But I think that's just kind of true of our SaaS space, marketing space in general. Specifically with the AI, it's basically just using it to amplify the things you're already doing. So something like this self-selling AI demo is new and kind of sexy, but just applying this to things that you're already doing, like the booking conversation for your initial outreach, or adding it to your qualifying questions, plugging it into your missed call text back. Because going back to speed to lead, missed call text back is great, but at 2 a.m. when they get one text saying, sorry, Mr. Call, how can I help? What if instead, and they responded at 2:15, like
Response back.
rather than waiting till the next morning, AI response.
So crazy.
Apply it to database reactivations. So you've got a list of your clients' old leads and you're reaching out trying to hit them with a new offer. Now, rather than just like saying, respond rocket ship to opt in, like, and get an automated text, instead it can happen conversationally and get them engaged. And so those just applying it to the pieces of your system,
Sure.
particularly, you know, we've got lead generation, we get leads in, we reach out to them initially with high level, and then hopefully we get them into booked appointments, into sales. What the AI does is kind of create more of an automatic connection in that messy middle to actually automate large pieces of that and kind of bring the connective tissue together across all of your
Got it.
systems.
That's awesome. So one quick follow-up to that, then would you say that the people who are niche specific, because they can kind of stack the lessons they've learned in building out the AI to respond in certain ways, can move faster and tend to be more successful with this?
Yeah, for sure. So the lessons learned just from applying it and from sticking it into putting it into your system and realizing what pieces can be automated. Like, first of all, you get the benefit of offloading pieces of your time, or if you're using, you know, setters or virtual assistants, potentially like downsizing the spend on some of those. But then on top of that, just you're able to have more conversations, able to bring on more leads and even bring on more customers without putting as much strain on, you know, your own capacity, because AI just expands our capacity and gives us more and more opportunity there.
So as we've stated, I feel like the perception value of it is amazing on sales calls. The perception value is increased a 1,000-fold with a demo. Like, just the value of speaking it is something, but then speaking it hooks and then showing it them like that, which I know you did it. You didn't do the thing live. Like, if we do it live, right? Like, how long are we waiting, you think, when you press that button to it working? 5 minutes?
Minute to 2 minutes. And so they submit
Literally
the form.
insane.
They submit the form, and within 2 minutes, they're getting
So
a text from
basically,
their
Andrew, you're like,
file.
hey, do you want to use AI, right? Like, yeah. And then you're like, do you want me to show you how to use it right now? And then you just do, and then you can show them a demo. That's crazy. Literally insane. So cool to see. And then obviously, you know, the agencies that are using this effectively, is this like a snapshot format similar to, like, basically you make a dental one that can be like fairly like well used for most dentists, and then just like have to edit a little bit for each dentist you work with? Is that essentially correct?
Yeah. So for AI customers, for our ZappyChat AI customers, they get a snapshot with our AI that is designed to plug into any other snapshot, any other build. So if you have your dentist snapshot, you just plug our AI snapshot into it. And then when you load it to a new account, literally it's just updating 4 custom values. That's all that it takes to make it different from account to account. And if you're talking about dentists running the same sort of offer, the same sort of playbook, then you're probably just changing out the name and just changing out some details in there.
So there's some questions here in the chat. I want to make sure all of them are answered before we wrap up today. There's one other specific question that I wanted to ask related to, like, utilization of ZappyChat. When obviously this is a resellable platform, right? That's the purpose, right? We're going to talk about, and just for clarity for everyone that watches the Anti-Hustler Weekly Show, Andrew has a specific offer for you guys to use ZappyChat. We're going to talk about why he would recommend using it over GHL's account and answering these questions that you guys have here before we wrap. I just wanted to touch on one other thing really quick, which was related to what you advise people to sell it for. Do you advise them to not sell anything additional, necessarily like charge them more, and just use it for retention play? Do you recommend having like a setup fee because you're building a specific AI bot for every client so you get a new upfront revenue? Like, what do you advise?
This is hard for me, Alex, because I am a bad salesman. And so I automatically internally, I'm going to give you advice that I struggle to follow. Cool. Because I think internally I go, ooh, give it for free, keep people around, like just make my value so no brainer that they can't leave. But honestly, the people who I see who are building really successful companies are instead going the opposite direction. They're anchoring this to like the value of a website. You think of website builds maybe in the past where people are charging a couple grand or 5K for it,
Yeah.
and charging that sort of upfront setup price and then a recurring on top of that. And so I would say if you have the sales skills and the confidence to do that, go that route.
Yeah. I think what I would be advising everyone is I would use that language, that AI concierge language, and there's a setup cost to do it, and then it's just built in ongoing, right? Like $2,000 setup cost, AI concierge. I think that's just absolutely fire. Honestly, I think that would be the best possible way to leverage it, and just get a nice extra chunk of change up front. With the consideration that if they won't buy it, you can also just give it to them and take a concession of extending the contract longer, but knowing that there's a much stronger likelihood they're going to retain because the AI is doing the work for you on the fulfillment. Like one of the main issues, Andrew, in the agency space has been like, how do we help our clients not complain about lead quality? And then there would be like, oh, agencies would like hire callers or do outbound, or outsourcing the calling, and like maybe that would work, but then it wasn't as good. And now there's AI that can kind of shrink that gap. It's pretty cool. Brian, you want to take these questions here and volley them over to Andrew?
Sure. I haven't been sorting them like I was last night, so I apologize. But the one I know that it stood out, and I know people are wondering, is the difference between this and high level. And then do you need high level if you're going to use ZappyChat?
Great question. So first of all, to start, you do need high level to use ZappyChat currently. We're working on some future solutions that are not going to require high level, that will create some other sales opportunities that you guys can use as well. But right now, runs all entirely off high level and seamlessly integrates over there. And then in terms of the comparison to high levels conversation AI, essentially point number one is the price. High level charges you 5 cents per message, 5 cents per message that you send. So, adding onto your Twilio cost an additional 5 cents per message, or if you're using it on Facebook Messenger, 5 cents per message. And so you can see how that stacks up at scale and gets really expensive really quickly. It's a pretty significant upcharge on the OpenAI costs. With ZappyChat, you pay us a flat rate. We're priced to scale. So you pay us a flat rate for the ZappyChat AI, and then you pay OpenAI for your usage directly. You can use your OpenAI key, or you can even have your clients use theirs. And so you're just getting that at cost instead of the 10 to 20x markup that high level is putting on that OpenAI cost. And then there are tons of features that high level doesn't have in their AI. And so things like being able to book to more than one calendar for different situations, being able to update custom fields, being able to have different personalities and different situations in your sub account and go through different qualifications and things like that. So there's just a lot more customizability and a lot more diversity of use that you can use ZappyChat AI for that the conversation AI doesn't currently do, and will also cost you a significant markup on usage.
Yeah, the feedback we've been getting from our clients is just that it's, high levels is just clunkier and not as easy to use and set up and integrate. So that's the general feedback we've been getting. And then of course, like the markup is pretty crazy. So definitely strong consideration for just paying a flat rate.
Also to note, you guys can see my screen. They're running an ad like this as well, which you can just like screenshot this and look at it. But it was kind of breaking down what Andrew was explaining. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see the models of what ZappyChat has done. I would also say, just speaking for Andrew, because he's being very modest, to be frank, they have like a 2.5-year head start. So I would say that also, they've been in the AI game before AI was cool. I'm sure when like ChatGPT came out, you're like, dude, we've been doing this for a minute, we've been doing this for a minute. So I thought that was pretty cool. So outside of that,
I got a couple more. So George S asked, and I think I know the answer, and I'm going to just answer it, man. You can tell me if I'm wrong, but he said, can a live agent interweave in the conversation? How would that work? Essentially, a person just goes into the high level conversation and can take over whenever they want. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Cool.
Exactly.
Like
and you can even set up automated tags to be added where it's like, hey, if the conversation gets to this point, if the lead has given their credit score, then I want one of our agents to jump in. Or if the lead has given a timeline for when they want to sell their house, whatever sort of criteria you want to put in there, you can slap on a tag and have that shut off the bot, alert someone from your team so they come in and take over.
Got you. Okay.
So, before we do more
Dina
questions, Brian, let's let Andrew, so that it's clear for everyone in terms of how it makes sense to work with
Then we'll
ZappyChat.
hang out and do some Q&A. Gotcha.
Yeah, let's let Andrew.
I have more Q's that need A's.
Yeah,
so.
he probably has all the A's, so
Cool.
we're good.
We're gonna get some Q's.
Andrew, what is the way that they can work with you guys at ZappyChat, get this integrated, start selling this service? How does that work?
Yeah, so in order to get signed up, we've got a special deal right now for you guys specifically. So normally we price it at $397 for unlimited accounts, $397 a month. But we have an annual deal set up for you that gives you just under 60% off. I think it's like 59% off with this deal. And so it's specifically for Alex, and full disclosure, it is a affiliate link, but I want you to use Alex's link. I want to pay him that affiliate cost there for sure.
I did also, guys, fight really hard for that extra 1%, but man, Andrew's such a good negotiator. Like I really tried to get it fully 60. It was like 59.6. It was. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Obviously,
we get it all the way there. We found somewhere in the middle. But yeah, by signing up with that link, you'll get full access to the ZappyChat AI. Clark, yes, you can totally get this special if you signed up yesterday. Email in and let them know, mention the show, and we can get you switched over to that, no problem. But with this, you're gonna get the ZappyChat AI, as well as some white label funnels to help sell it, along with a bunch of resources like our AI prompt generator, some white labeled ads, all sorts of different resources in there to help you resell the AI. And once you get in there, you'll have access to our support team who can help with any questions there. And I'm personally do an hour-long office hours every workday. So you can always hop on and chat with me if you want to talk about building out some crazy custom project, or if you just want a little bit of help with setup, you can do that too. And we've got all of that waiting for you inside.
I gotta say, Andrew, by the way, real talk, you guys make some really nice funnels. Like the page is really nice. It looks really good. I like the ones that you guys did. It's really, really good. And I just think it's really fire.
0% me. I'm bad at funnels.
It's okay. You could just take ownership. That's what I do. Hey, that's all me. My team did nothing, and you're welcome. I'm kidding. I'm not like that. Maybe a little bit. But before we wrap, couple quick notes. One, the key element to me that's extremely valuable is that it's for unlimited sub accounts that they're offering, right? And that model, right, having that opportunity means your cost does not scale as you sell more. That is like the most ideal possible way to grow. Clark already got the answer there, so you should be good. It does not require Zapier, as Andrew just answered. And then Jenna, I think you got a question. Andrew, I don't know if you got to run or not, but if Jenna, good.
I can say for a little bit.
You want to ask your question, or Andrew, do you want to say something else?
Oh, I was going to say, Teresa in the chat also said, do you set up the workflows in high level for clients? So we give you the snapshot that you should incorporate into your own snapshot, and then you can just have that be a part of your SaaS offering and just auto load it in there. So it shouldn't really be setting up the workflows each time. It's just going to be, like I mentioned, potentially editing a couple custom values, like just some copy paste or some easy text editing.
And Andrew, one other thing I explain to people is, like, if you know your skill set of like where your tech skills lie, right? It's like I'm very strictly on the sales model. Like I just hand it off to my tech guy on my team. And if you have a tech guy, that needs to be the recommendation. Like the tech guy is the one doing the ZappyChat stuff. You're going to be doing the sales stuff, right? Andrew last night very kindly was like, I think it would take Alex an hour, which is a joke. There's no way. It's impossible. Maybe Brian, I could barely hang up this picture on my wall, let alone anything technology. I didn't even know Andrew was in the waiting room in the wrong Zoom link before. So there you go on me not understanding technology. But in general, like they made it as simple as possible for you to utilize it, which is why we brought him on to share this insight. So Jenna, do you have a question here? Go ahead. You're muted, by the way, so you have to unmute yourself. Your hand is raised. but you are muted. Okay.
Yes, I do have a question real quick. So there's another like home services specific like chat service where they can connect with like a phone call automatically. Is that possible? Like one of my roofing clients like absolutely talks the sun up to that thing.
Yeah, so essentially from a text chat, like connect to a live phone call.
Yeah, and then it connects right to and it calls the roofing business.
Yeah. So you can 100% do a live transfer like that. It's just as simple as having our AI add a tag and then triggering a live call transfer that will call the roofer or whatever home service. They press a button to answer and it connects the two right there.
Would that be possible to set up for like the demo that you were talking about?
Yeah, it totally would. It would be just a little bit of customization there, but if you've got ZappyChat already, or if you buy it off of this, hop on one of our live success calls, and I'd be happy to walk you through the steps of that.
Cool. Yeah, I'd love that.
So I know Dina had a question. I'll let her speak this. I want to say something really fast though, Andrew, because it's so true and really cool as we wrap up. Every time there's a question with a new idea and thing shared, I see it in your face of your excitement of like, we do that. We can do that. And it opens up my eyes every time to like, how deep does this rabbit hole go? At what point are you like, nope, it's not available yet. It's crazy. It's insane.
Yeah, my biggest problem is that I don't have the time nor a big enough team to do all the things I want to do with it yet.
Of course.
And so like things like Jenna just described, I'm like, oh man, we gotta get that, we gotta get that like templated out.
Idea board is probably just
so exactly. Much like high level, it's kind of like the opportunities are infinite.
Never ending.
But we've given you everything you need to like plug it in and do the basic stuff first, but you can build on top of it.
The coaching is the same every time, guys. The simple wins. The simple wins.
Simple first.
Dina, you had a question, then we'll wrap up for today. Thanks, guys, for the time. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, your audio just literally dropped as soon as you said thank you. That was so strange.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, good. I have a white label of Go Level for portrait photographer.
Audio dropped again.
Is to build a survey. And so could this potentially ask those survey questions, but also serve a picture with each a visual?
You're breaking in and out a little bit there.
Shoot.
I think it was asking essentially, and tell me if I'm wrong, Dina, but can the AI serve up visuals, images along with questions?
Yeah, totally doable in terms of serving up those images and bringing those up to date. That's also something that would be a little bit of a customization on top of our system, but totally doable.
I literally just want to do a session with Andrew where we ask him an infinite amount of questions until he finally says, no, this won't work.
Can it do my laundry?
Yeah, there we go. It definitely cannot. We did it.
Yeah, if it could fold laundry, then then I'd be a billionaire.
Yeah, exactly. Then my wife would not be as mad as me anymore. So it'd be great. Parth, it is for a year for clarity, $19.97 for the year. The link is in the show notes, in the Zoom channel, inside of our Facebook group. And if you have any questions for us, just reach out. If they want to learn more about ZappyChat, where should they go, Andrew, outside of this conversation?
Yeah, so if you want to talk to someone on our team, head over to zappychat.com/calendar and you can chat with someone on our team there. You can also email support@zappychat.com, or you can message us on Facebook and chat with the AI and see what the AI has to say about itself. You're welcome to do that as well. So come at us from any angle. We're available there.
Thank you guys so much for the time, Andrew. Thank you so much and appreciate the willingness to share all of this. For all of you that came and joined us today, we're always grateful for your time sincerely. We know you have a lot of options out there in the space. To give us your time is something we never take for granted. We hope that you always find value in this. Every single week, Thursdays, 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We will be here next week. Brian is hosting. He's going to be talking about the fastest way to book sales calls today. It's going to be amazing. We're going to be talking about robot dogs and AI and all that stuff. I'm assuming.
None of that. None of that. But a lot of it will help you.
Yeah, that's good. That works. All right, fam. We'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, guys.